Hello friends, welcome to today's class. Today we shall discuss what is horizontal communication, what are the advantages and disadvantages of horizontal communication. Let us first discuss some of the definitions of it. Betty and Kay say that horizontal communication occurs between workers at generally equal levels of an organization. R. W. Griffin says horizontal communication involves colleagues and peers at the same level of communication. So, if you examine both these definitions, we come to the conclusion that they talk about equal levels in the organization or same levels of communication. What exactly we mean by that? It is the communication that takes place among the people at the same level of the organization. I will give an example. For example, your college. In our college, there is a principal at the top. So he forms one level. Below him, there are the professors, many of them. So they form another level. Below the professors, you have some clerks. So all clerks form one level. And below the clerks, there are the group D employees. They form one level. And there are students also. All students, they are peers, they are friends. They form one level. They are competitors. They form one level. So horizontal communication is the transmission of information between people, divisions, departments, units within the same level of organizational hierarchy. It is also referred to as lateral communication. So horizontal communication is also called lateral communication. Now, same level of the communication, some same level of the organization. What exactly we mean by the same level of organization? Suppose there is a problem. Students have to organize a seminar. It is an inter-college seminar. So students form a group. They sit down at one place. They decide how many colleges they are going to invite, what are the projects, or what are the seminar topics that they are going to choose, which college will have how many representatives, how much money will be spent, where from they will get the funds. So when all these things are decided at one level, this is called horizontal communication. Suppose there is a problem in the college. All professors sit down at one place and they discuss the problem threadbare. They discuss the problem in great detail. What is the root cause of the problem? How this problem can be solved? What is to be done? What steps are to be taken? So when all professors talk to each other and come to some conclusion, this can be called horizontal communication. Why horizontal communication is necessary? Horizontal communication is necessary to develop a collaborative and proactive culture in an organization. So when people sit down and discuss things, they sit down at a place and discuss things. So a problem is solved easily and quickly. So this can promote horizontal communication. In this, what happens? People communicate with others at their own level, in their own department or with other departments also. Now suppose there is a factory in the vicinity. Let us take into take Nalco as an example. Nalco has an executive director. Executive director is the head of Nalco. Below him, there are general managers. They form one group. Below him, they have AGMs, additional general managers. Then they have DGMs, deputy general managers. All deputy general managers form a group. So in the higher, then there are supervisors. All supervisors form a group. There are different departments, and in different departments you have different people. You have many people working, and below them at the end you have the workers. Now suppose Nalco bags a contract of 1000 crores. They have to produce aluminium of 1000 crores. So all deputy general managers sit down. How the project will be executed? There are representatives from all sections. Somebody says somebody is in charge of procurement of materials. Ta kaam hola se material collect karibo. Somebody is in charge of electricity, supply of electricity. His job is to see that there is 24-hour supply of electricity. There is another DGM who is taking care of supply of water. There is another DGM HRD, who is taking care of how skilled manpower can be supplied, how they can be trained. So when all these people sit down together and they discuss the problem in great detail, they can come to a conclusion easily. So everybody contributes to the success of the factory or the success of the institution. Horizontal communication is necessary to develop a collaborative where everybody collaborates, everybody contributes in a positive manner, and it's a very proactive culture. When everybody makes contribution to the development of the factory, it becomes easier to manage it. People communicate with others at their own level, in their own departments, and they sit down with other people of other departments also, officers of other departments also, to solve problems, and they also share their experiences. Now the main objective of horizontal communication are developing teamwork. So a teamwork can be developed. Everybody works in a team. Nobody thinks of his individual contribution. Everybody thinks of the betterment of the factory. They work as a team. And promoting group coordination within an organization. So there will be better once people at the same level sit down together and they discuss a problem threadbare in great detail. Some of them are very experienced, so they can also contribute. They can tell about what their experiences have been in the past, or where the problem is, how that problem can be solved. Then obviously the factory is going to benefit a lot. It takes place between professional peer groups. Who are peer groups? People working at the same level are called peer groups. People working on the same level of hierarchy. There is a hierarchy everywhere. There are people at the lower level, then there are people who are higher to them, then there are people who are still higher to them. Just as I told, at the base level, we have the group D employees in our college. Then there are the clerks, a number of them, they form a group. Then there are the professors, a number of them. And finally, at the top of the hierarchy, there is a principal. So this is called hierarchy. Now, similarly, in the factory, you have the workers at the lower level, then there are the supervisors, then there are the deputy general managers, then there are AGMs, additional general managers, then there are general managers. Finally, there is one person who is controlling everybody. He is the executive director. So this is the hierarchy in case of a factory. So It takes place between professional peer groups or people working at the same level. So if all DGMs sit down together and discuss things, this will be called horizontal communication. Horizontal communication is less formal. It is not official, it is less, it is not formal, it is less formal, because everybody belongs to the same label. Their label is same. Nobody is above the other. When one, they discuss the problem, you can make a contribution, you can make your suggestion, others may or may not accept it. But when your principal writes a letter to you or gives an order, you have to carry it out, because that is formal. But here it is less formal. Horizontal communication is less formal and structured, less structured than upward or downward communication. We shall discuss about what is upward communication or what is downward communication a little later. These are parts of vertical communication. We shall discuss what vertical communication is. It may be carried through informal discussions. So obviously you sit down together, you discuss what the problem is, but it is not an official meeting. Management gossips. There are a lot of gossips in a company. We have heard this, we have heard that, but we have not received a letter. When we receive a letter, it's official. But when we do not receive a letter, suppose you hear something that one of your friends has stopped the examination. You have only heard it from somebody. There is no official confirmation. So you go on spreading the news, spreading the message among all of your friends that he is the topper, he is the topper, but there is no official confirmation. It may be carried through informal discussions, management gossips, telephone calls, teleconferencing. These days we have, uh, Google Meets. So if friends discuss how the examination will be conducted tomorrow. Suppose there is an examination and we have to conduct the examination. So we friends sit down together. সেটা আমি কথাবার্তা হিসবা ভাই তুই এই কামটা কর দেবো, ভাই তুই এই কামটা কর দেবো, ভাই তুই এই কামটা কর দেবো. So there is a lot of cooperation. There is a lot of cooperation, and when there is a lot of cooperation, we achieve a lot of success. Video conferencing, memos, routine meetings. So this communication, horizontal communication, takes place through all these. Every type of communication has some positive sides and some negative sides also. Let us now discuss what are the advantages of horizontal communication. Now, positive things. What are the positive things? When suppose, just I told you, a seminar is going to be organized. So you people sit down together and decide different things, right? So immediately a decision can be taken and each one contributes. You have to do this. You have to take care of the guests. You have to write the names, register the names of the guests. You have to give them water. You have to think of, their lunch. You have to arrange for their dinner. So work is divided and everybody contributes to the cause. When everybody contributes to the cause, there is a lot of teamwork. It facilitates coordination between different departments of the organization. Officers or officials of different departments, they sit down together, they discuss things. What is the problem? What might be the problem? Okay, this, we have to supply this much, uh, finished product. How this can be done? What is my role? What is the role of your department? So when you sit down together and discuss, naturally things are sorted out easily. The problem is solved easily. It helps to reduce misunderstanding and conflict through meetings, discussions, face-to-face conversation. So when you talk to each other, when you are talking face to face, Misunderstanding is removed. Now next, it helps to establish consensus among the managers and workers. Managers decide, they sit down, all managers, they decide, okay, you are going to take care of this aspect. You are going to take care of supply of electricity. You are going to take care of supply of uninterrupted water. You are going to take care of training of the manpower. So naturally, there is a lot of coordination. So it strengthens team spirit. Everybody works in a team and contributes to the central cause. गोटे कॉज पाई समस्तंकर किछि ना किछि कंट्रीब्यूशन रहे. Since it occurs between people at the same level of the organization, inter-department communication happens smoothly. जोठी तुमे तुम ऑफिसर पाखे बसी ऑफिसर गोटे लेवल तुम रहा गोटे लेवल तुम तुम मन कथा से भलरे कहीपर ना तुम्हें जो तुम सांग पाखे बसुच तुम मन कथा ठीक कहीपर तुम समस्ते सपोज तुम्हें गोटे जनरल मैनेजर तुम पाखे आउ 10 जन बस दे आर ऑल्सो जनरल मैनेजर्स. सो जनरल मैनेजर्स तुम परस्पर सांगे ठीक रे कथबार्ता है कि प्रॉब्लम कोठी रहउची कोठी असुविधा रहउची सेटा ठीक रे डिस्कशन करि परिबो ना. व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग विथ द मिनिस्टर और व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग विथ योर सेक्रेटरी तांकर आ गोटे लेवल तांकर सहित मन कथा तुम कहि परिबो कि बिकॉज़ ही इज योर बॉस. तुम जदि किछि असुविधा कर देलो एक्शन विल बी टेकन अगेंस्ट यू. यू माइट इवन लूज द जॉब. तेणु तुम जोठी भय रहिबो मन भितरे नेचुरली गोटे भय रहिबो तुम मन भितरे. तो तुम मन भितर जो भयटा रहा तुम्हें मन कथा खोल कि मन कथा खोल कहीपर. So since it occurs between people at the same level of the organization, interdepartmental communication happens very smoothly. It is less formal in nature. It enjoys some degree of informality in exchanging information. As the senders and the receivers hold the same position, all are DGMs, all are AGMs, all are lecturers, professors, they are at the same level. So there is a lot of informal communication, unofficial communication. Nobody passes an order to the other. Everybody makes contributions. Okay, if you accept, that's a different thing. If you don't accept, that is another thing. But since you hold the same position, status and honor, there is a lot of informal exchange of information. It creates an environment of cooperation, teamwork, and obviously there will be a lot of team spirit. This brings dynamism to the workplace, to the organization. So everybody making some contribution to the cause. It saves time. Discussions urgent in nature can be taken on the spot. You can take decisions on the spot. You can discuss a particular matter and you take a decision immediately. So it can save time. It is generally oral. Horizontal communication is oral. Nobody passes an order in written form. You discuss things among yourselves orally through your mouth. You say something, somebody else makes a contribution, somebody else, third official there makes another contribution. The chances of misunderstanding are much less as feedback can be obtained immediately. You can immediately obtain feedback. This is my opinion. What do you say? And he says, oh, whatever you are saying is right, or whatever you are saying is wrong. So whether it is acceptable or not, your suggestion is acceptable or not, immediately you get the feedback. Employees feel empowered. When everybody in the organization feels, I have some contribution to make to the benefit of to the growth of the organization, he feels empowered. Every employee feels that he has to contribute in some way to the organization. When somebody says, when your principal says, do this, you like to do it. Or when you think, no, this is my college, I must do it. This is my duty. So which one you like more? Say, case it. Now, because they are They are heard, others listen to whatever suggestions they make, and others respect the suggestions. So naturally, everybody feels very happy and empowered. Now, let us discuss some of the disadvantages of what are the negative things associated with horizontal communication. As the responsibilities is spread out over team members and project leaders, there is very little real authority. Authority question कोड असला तुम्हें तो you are when you are talking to your friends, when the DGMs are talking among themselves, everybody is equal, nobody is different, there is no boss. তাহলে অথরিটির প্রশ্ন আসলা হি কোটু nobody is the authority, nobody is a boss there. So naturally there is very less authority. And when there is no authority, କଲେଜରେ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ଜମା ରହିବେନି, ପିଲାମାନେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ କରିବେ, ବାହାରେ ଯାଇକି ବୁଲିବେ, ସାର୍ ମାନେ ବି ଚାନ୍ସ ନେଇଯିବେ, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ ଏଥିରେ. So natural, what will be the consequence of this? When there is no authority, there will be less loss of control, there will be less control. And naturally, when there is no control, when everybody says, okay, I am doing whatever is possible on my part, obviously productivity will suffer, the amount of production will suffer. People can hide information due to rivalry between them. Suppose I am a DGM, I want to put the other DGM in trouble, so I will hide some information, I will not tell him the facts, so let him be in trouble. So if there is no rivalry, usually kaha bhitere thae, people at the same level. तुमे केबे +3 फाइनल ईयर पिलांग संगे गंडगोल करछ कि? इज देयर एनी राइवलरी? तम क्लास रे जे भलो पढुछि ता सहित तमर राइवलरी थाए, ही इज अ बेटर स्टूडेंट, आई एम नॉट, और आई एम अ बेटर स्टूडेंट, ही इज नॉट. तेणु राइवलरी एका पियर ग्रुप भीतर थाए, एका ग्रुप रो लोकन भीतर थाए. If there is too much horizontal communication, both the employers at the junior level and the seniors at the higher level are never consulted. They are even insulted. So if people of a particular group discuss things and take decisions, what about the people who are above them? They are not consulted. Their views are not taken into account. And what happens to the people who are lower to them? Their views are also not taken into account. So naturally they feel insulted. Thus organizational hierarchy is disrupted. This hierarchy, ये जो structure टा गोटे kind of structure that exists in a college or in an organization, that is affected. This can also make employees too friendly, and when they are too friendly, obviously they can waste some time gossiping among each other. So my dear friends, we have discussed what is horizontal communication, what are the advantages, what are the positive things of horizontal communication, what are the negative things associated with horizontal communication. I hope this helps you understanding. In the next video, we shall discuss what is vertical communication, what are the advantages and disadvantages of vertical communication. Thank you.